Hey everybody, I have tried to start the video, but I happen to get a phone call. So, what up, what up, what up? It's your girl, JaleaNicole, and I am here to do a chit chat get ready with me because it's been quite some time and I figured I get to kind of tell you guys what's going on, ask a few questions, as well as do a tutorial look. So the best of both worlds, like Miley Cyrus says, it's the best of both worlds. Y'all about to get it today. So we are going to get started with what look am I going to do? I didn't know what I wanted to do, but what I do know is I have a look that I fell in love with by Miss Tiffany J. And I don't know if you guys can see that. That look right there. So I'm going to just get into it. And I have the perfect palette. Oops, knocking myself over. I have the perfect palette that gives me those burgundies and browns that I am going to need. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to tell you guys as I'm using some of the products that they are some of my faves of 2018 that have made it into 2019. Some of these are long time bays. Hold on. Some of these are long time bays. You know, Dunkin' Donuts today. That's a whole nother story. So let's get to the brow. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Is it Lock and Brow? It has a whole name now. Lock Down the Brow Cream. I don't know. It is in espresso. And I have went back to pomades for the brow. One, because it's cold and my face isn't going to sweat and it's not going to get so oily. And two, I just wanted a stronger brow. I was in the market for fierceness, and that's what the pomade gives me, like a more refined look. So if you guys see me looking down, I'm looking at my mirror, but I'm getting closer, so which is the bomb because you guys get to get in on this. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Don't mind my nails. This is a new one. My other one dried out, so oldie but goodie on my hands. And I'm going to do brows first because with the pomade, I'm a little bit perfectionist and I don't want to mess up my foundation over it. But hey y'all, how have y'all been? Your girl has had a whole life change and I'm loving it. If I could be honest, it's a lot. Even though it's a lot, I am thoroughly happy that God has us where he has us currently. And for those of you who, I don't know how to express this, if you're not a believer in Christ, I apologize because a lot of this conversation will have that tone to it. Because this is what God has done in my life and in my husband's life and in my children's life. So, too much product there. But it's all good. I'm going to get my spoolie in a second and get into it. Just know that I won't do a lot of explaining how I'm doing this look. Just pay attention because I'm a one thing at a time. My husband's finally responded to all the messages I've been sending him today. I've been very vocal. Just been chit-chatting with him even though he's at work. Because I'm a stay-at-home mom again. And guys, oh husband, you are really texting. I love it and it stresses me out altogether. So I am, like I said, getting the best of both worlds here, and even in that. So 1 second while I focus on this brow. I'm gonna get my brows done because I think that's gonna be a long part of the video. So let me do this first. Okay, so that's the rough draft. I'm gonna go ahead and get in here. And first off, I'm gonna close this pomade up before it decides to dry all the way up on you, girl. So that's out the way. Now, rough draft meaning after I do foundation, I will go back in with a powder and warm it up just a little bit. I start with them kind of cool because I don't want them too warm and they look red on my face, if you get what I'm saying. I have a powder that I like to use and it has a little bit of warmth to it, so it will accentuate perfectly, darling, perfectly. So, sorry guys, 1 second. Hold on, sorry. Emails and text messages from kids. Nope. No, son, my son is in the living room, guys. He wants, because I told him, okay, because if you have a Roku, the remote has a headphone jack, and I'm like, either turn TV down or put your headphones in. So obviously he just got that message. But back at it, homeschooling. Well, stay at home mom, and now I've added homeschooling mom on top of that. I'm stressed, but I'm making it. I'm making it, and it is not by my own volition. And I promise you that. That is the Lord, darling. It is the Lord in all his glory, because never would have chose it. I tried to choose it before, but it didn't choose me. So we just didn't get along like that. And I feel like I failed at that time. What did I do? What did I do with my concealer? I just had it. Y'all, boom, there it goes. Okay. Y'all don't know how real it is today. Sorry. This is about to be long AF. So, hold on, let's get on here. Part of my priming process. And in a minute, I'm gonna go in with this same thing and mark my brows with it. But this is priming and blanking out my slate here. But as a mom of 4, small business owner, we've just relocated. I'm just like, how in the hello am I supposed to do all of this? Along with the things that, Lord, you have asked me and my husband to do in your kingdom. There's only one me. Luckily, he only led us to homeschool the middle schooler, because the middle schools here where we are in Tennessee are not optimal. Like, it's not the best. Neither was it in Georgia, to be quite honest. So very honestly, we made a lateral move with the little kiddies, as well as, actually we made a little bit of an upgrade move for the little people in the school that they're in, and we made a lateral move concerning the schools with the middle school. But with me homeschooling him, you know, that's in God's hands now. But that's where we are. And I have to say, I do like it, because me and DeJohn get to spend more time with each other. He gets one-on-one care. I am constantly not only testing his limits, but more specifically testing my own. And whoo, y'all, middle school is its own beast already. So a middle school boy's hormones and attitudes, because I don't care what nobody say. Men are emotional as well. I have a young man. He's a feeler. He's a tactile learner. Meaning that he can't sit still the whole time. We need to mix it up. Like, he got to get some hands-on stuff. He got to get some auditory. He got to get it all, or else he's going to get bored and look at me like, what are you doing, and why did you do this to me? Why are you torturing me? Mom, run. You're boring. You're not even that funny. And geez, why are you Googling the answer? Because I am. Because I don't know. So I am struggling, but y'all, the only reason I'm getting through this is because daily I am leaning on God. I cannot do it any other way, because I just wouldn't be able to. I just wouldn't be able to, off of my own will, my own patience, not even my own desires. This wasn't even my desire. God had to really change that up for me. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing with my brows. I feel like I'm talking just all over the place. Hopefully I make sense to everybody. But, sorry, brow business is serious business. I had to get quiet. But let me give you guys my insight on the area that we have moved into. It's nice. It's very nice. It's very family friendly. It is also where we are really the minority. Big surprise, right? No, it's not. That's kind of what we expected when we got here, or even before we left to come here. Sorry, y'all, I got some hairs that is bothering me. So that's not even a deterrent. So I don't want you guys to think that that's even part of a problem. It's actually refreshing to get different types of atmospheres, different perspectives. And there was something I was listening to, and it says, if your podcast, I think, if your circle or the people you minister to or the people you just surround yourself with, if it is a homogeneous, meaning that if you can't tell one thing from the other in there, you don't have diversity. And I'd prefer a diverse group than not, if you get what I'm saying. So we are at a new place where we are a family of 6 who was living in the house, but now we're in an apartment. We were a family that was at a traditional family Baptist church, and we are now at like a non-denominational, well, it's not non-denominational, it's Church of God. And it's just something we would have never seen for ourselves in a whole nother state. And I'm back at home. So when I was working, I had a moment during that time where I was just like, I can't do this working and still going home, because I was missing the kids. I felt like I was not doing what I needed to do for them. I just felt like I was letting everybody down, because I just felt like I could not juggle this, that, and that over there. Like I was struggling so bad, more specifically internally. I felt like my house wasn't clean. I had so many feelings that it was throwing me off. So now, and I was like halfway through the time I was at my job where I was working as an admin assistant at a women's shelter. And so now I'm no longer there. Like I had a whole moment. I had to come to terms with who Jalea is, was, and will be. I had to love her in all those areas and then let it go. And so I thought, you know what, God, that's fine. If this is where I'm at, and I did not, if I did not enjoy the time that I had at home with the kids, I'm sorry. Now I regret taking for granted the times that I could have been at home and been more present, even though I was home a lot, but that doesn't mean I was present all that time. So I think those regrets for those moments that I could have been better and more present came. And then those times where I'm like, I don't have the opportunity to even try again because I'm at work working with these people, even though I loved my job. I love my family too, and I know that God called me to ministry in my home first as a wife and a mother, so I had a hard time with that. Y'all, I'm sorry. We are 15 minutes in and I only have brows done. Okay, let me do one eye and I'll come back. Okay, so this one's basically done. I don't have a lash on it or mascara, and I haven't done the underneath, but this is the lid. It's not as vibrant as hers. I could not find my white NYX pot or a pencil, and that's what I would have used to make it way more vibrant like hers. So to get back into the look first, and then I'll continue the conversation after I had to break up with myself and find myself and love her all over again in every way and form. I'm using this here, and I'm going to go in first with burnt orange. Don't mind this finger. Mommy finger, how are you? Broken is what I am. Burnt orange. Then I'm going to go in with Real Gar. And then I will go on to Venetian Red and Love Letter. So these two, and this one, and these two. And there will be a little bit more in there, but when I get to it, I'll let you know. So because this was already primed, and I put a little powder there to keep some of the creasing from happening. Let me lift my camera a little bit. It's on my nerves right now. Okay, that's enough for me. So I'm going to start with this one, this fluffy brush here, and I'm going to go in with that burnt orange. So God gave me a real heart check, and I actually almost quit my job, y'all. Almost quit it. And everybody's like, did you pray on it? And in my mind, I'm like, leave me alone. Don't ask me that, because I didn't want to pray on it. Because I didn't think the Lord was going to let me. And I was right. Because that is not, it was not the time for that. Still doing burnt orange. And it wasn't the time for that. I was going to be out of his will if I were to do so. So, now I'm going in with the actual orange Realgar. I told my husband, I was like, I'm giving him 2 weeks. And he was like, and he kind of looked at me like, did you pray on it? And again, I looked at him like, ask me, did I pray on it one more time? Say another somebody else asked me, did I pray on it? And of course, that's just conviction happening, because you're supposed to pray on things before you just jump around doing stuff all willy-nilly. And I almost didn't do that. And I have to give props to my friend Keidra. He was like, because he was the first one, was like, did you pray on that? And I was like, fine. And I prayed on it, and God was like, no. So I stayed. And I get to, hold on, Venetian red. I'm going in Venetian red. Ooh, wrong brush. Venetian red with a different one. A denser, fluffy brush. And so through that, I just had to learn to balance and do all those things I was doing. Ministry, motherhood, wifehood, and working. And there's women that do it. And in that moment, I was like, I'm just not one of those women. I'm not one of those women that can do it. I'm not that winner. I'm not that mom. And God showed me a lot about myself, but more so he showed me about who he is and when I need him to be, whatever it is, he shows up for me in that way. And all I had to do was ask him and call on him. But because your girl don't like to ask for help, there are times that I don't call on him first. I try to do it and I burn myself out. So I get through that. I'm doing bomb at work, but I'm failing at home, because I'm one of them people, like, if I'm working, I'm working. Like, I'm a hardcore worker. I also know that when I clock out, there ain't no more work, Jalea. And that's another reason why I don't get burned out on jobs. But I can get burned out at home because it feels like it never stops. So I won't stop working. I've learned that recently. We'll talk about that in another video. But love letter now. Going into the pinky one. So I go to Woman Thou Art Loose in October. And me and my girls, my ministry group, we go together. Fluffy brush blending. We all go together. We have an amazing time, right? And the day before the conference is over, that Saturday night, like, I'm just like, yo, God, you've been filling me up so good. I'm so full. We could just go home in the morning. And my little sister was like, but I didn't get to go to anything. And I was going to go to church on Sunday so I can see. I was like, you know what? You're right. Because the last session was that Sunday. And we were going to leave Sunday morning instead of staying through the last session and all that good stuff. So we stay so my sister can get to go to the Potter's house. Because she didn't pay to go to Woman Without Loose. She just rode with us. She was our riding partner. And so she got to go to the church. And it was a great message for all of us. And in that message, God decides to drop a few little nuggets into your girl. And I'm like, make sure that's what you said, God? You said go? All right then. So you know who I'm married to, Lord. Send me information. Send me whatever he needs so that he can move to on what you just gave me. Because guys, my husband, I love him to death. He's an engineer by trade. And he is a scientist just in his mind in general. So analytics, data, and things of that nature tend to be his driving factor. I'm a gut driver. I go with the gut. This don't feel right. And it's my shando. It's my it's my discernment, you know? So I go with that. So we are a great team with those two things together. And, okay, hold on. Let me see where I'm at. I'm going to pick up the fluffier brush and get in some more orange real quick. So I go home and I tell him what I feel God has said. And he gives me the, okay. But when I hit him with the information that God gave me to confirm for him, he just couldn't, what else you gonna do? And so before we know it, we're moving. And in the midst of all of that, God reveals, like, I want you to homeschool. I want you back at home. And I'm like, you just made me like working. And I gotta go back home. You just made me like working. So I have to learn to be versatile. One, I had to learn to be able to do both. I had to learn to appreciate both and be able to speak to those mothers, to speak to the mothers that do all of that, and some that do this or that, and some that do the mixture, because God has called me to really minister to women, wives, moms, young women in Christ, trying to gather their being, you know. Let me get my concealer. I'm going to draw out some space, because this is just going to help it stick a little bit better than nothing. So let me carve out a little space real quick. So hold on. So I'm going to get my flat brush, and I'm going to pick up red ochre first. Now just go. This is that brick color, and it's just going to help it to sit still and not fall off and play around over here. Now I'm going to pick up the Venetian red, because it has a little bit of a pink to it. And I'm going to blend a little bit right in this, so these all just go together. I'm feeling like I'm pretty much matching here, because you got to make sure both eyes. Let me see if you can tell. I'm trying to see both eyes. Oh, I need to go in with Love Letter, the really deep fuchsia, more fuchsia color, and get into this crease here. And this part is what I forgot to do. I need to go in there and add a lot of that to the crease to give it some depth in the transition from dark to the orange. But now that we're here in Tennessee, I'm home. I'm waiting for my license to transfer over. That process is still being I'm patiently waiting for that to finish. And let me tell you what I do to the brow real quick. This is hard talking about two different things at the same time. I'm going to go in golden ochre first, and I'm going to blend out everything else. And just in a highlight, I'm going to use tempera. This helps to get rid of the golden ochre here. Gets rid of any of the lines that just seem a little bit too much. You always end up touching the other eye when you do something. Same one, same brush, taking that tempera and just making sure I hit that arch. Get that arch right there. And I'm going to take this one with the orange on it, this fluffy brush with the orange on it, and I'm just going to tap just a little bit more to get, I need the golden ochre and the orange to really come together right now. Get that real guard and get this corner, because I need a little more orange there. There we go. I needed a little more warmth. But now I'm here and I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to do in this season? And he gives me the homeschool, and he gives me the get back into your business. And I'm like, because while I was working, I could not business, home, and work. I could not do all three. Your girl was drowning. So I had to go and say, you know what? I'm going to put this down for a while. I can't. Something will fail, and it won't be my family, and it won't be the paycheck. Gotta make a decision, and that's how I made it. And now I have the ability to put time into it, and now I have to make sure that I'm doing right by my homeschooler and all my other children who come home, and I have to really structure my day. And let me tell you how your girl's been not dying doing so. Have you guys ever watched or subscribed to the blog or seen a video by Jordan Lee Page, I think is her name? Fun, Cheap, or Free. Woman of God who has 6 children. And she's married. She stays at home. And her gifts made room for her. Not only did her gifts make room for her, her husband's gifts made room for them. And you have to really go to her blog, funcheaporfree.com, read the story of how all her whole journey began and where they are now and how God has really provided for them in that. And I feel like we're in that season now where God is really asking us to have reckless faith. And me and my husband were talking about it just yesterday. Like, it's only been 6 weeks since we've gotten to where we are currently in this place, in this house. It's only been 6 weeks, but it's been 6 weeks and we feel like we don't know anything about anything. And God just has us on a daily manna thing. And so we are daily just taking up what he has for us. So I'm going to pause again, get this eyeliner on. I'm going to come back with my foundation on and then we'll go from there. So I have begun the process. I used some highlighter. I used what was left of like my highlighting. Y'all, this is the best thing ever. It's called the makeup bullet. That we'll talk about that later. So I just kind of use that to start sharpening out my contour. I did the highlight already. My Sacha Buttercup powder mixed with my L'Oreal translucent powder. CoverGirl translucent powder. I have not done under my eyes. I do have mascara on. So now I'm going to take my Maybelline Fit Me here in 330 and calm that down just a smidge, so I don't have that mostly ghostly scare going on there. I'm just gonna do this for right now to help with that. And I will save my other color that goes all over, which is going to be my LA Girl Pro Face in True Bronze. It'll be that one that's when you know I used to work at Ulta. They green dot the stuff that they sell in there so that they know that you didn't steal it when you go home. So you guys didn't know that. I worked that off before. So let me get my, I'm going to use this little Mary Kay brush that I've had for quite some time as my contour brush. And I'm going to get into the palette I'm going to use. And it is thebomb.com. It is JaleaNicole by JaleaNicole. And this is my contouring palette. If you guys really want this, let me know, because I have really been thinking about relaunching. And I'm going to use this color here. This highlight right here is, oh, you can't see it, the bomb. So I'm going to go into that that contour color, and I'm tapping the side of that brush, and I'm going to get in there just like that. And if you can see it, holla at you, girl. And you guys, if you have not clicked that notification bell, please do, so you guys can keep up with me while I'm regularly posting. So you see that there? I've never been a strong contourer because I have high cheekbones, but I am getting in there, and I may get a little bit more because I just feeling it today. Make sure you get around that hairline. Start to swoop under there so it's just not like bow. And I know y'all can see my wig pieces, but don't judge me. This is I had to go grocery shopping earlier today, look. And I'm going to get in here into that forehead, because Lord knows it needs to look smaller than it is. Push that into whatever hair you got on or don't have. And then just kind of bring it down some. And I'm going to take this brush like this, and I'm going to go into the, actually I'm going to use the same color. I ain't about to be difficult. And boom. Now I'm going to take a blending brush here and get in there. Make sure you keep that natural crease line there. So sweep it up into that brow. Ooh, I look like a new woman. Nah, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. So, where was we at, y'all? Now let me get my, I have to do my nose highlight with powder because I did not do that as of yet. And I'm actually just going to use my Maybelline Fit Me and my and now I'm going to take my brush and there goes the lines softened up. Now let's go in with this powder. And we're going to bring everything together. I don't know why I closed it like I was done. Okay, so I'm going to also take what's left of that powder here and be sure that that little got a little brightness there in the forehead. So now, I know y'all like now, you keep saying now. Brush time. And I just have a palette of nice pinky blushes, and I'm going to go into the darker one here. You can't quite because of the lighting. I'm going to do a mixture of this one and this one. One has a shimmer, one is matte, and I'm just going to bounce it a few times and sweep. Bounce, 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 bounce. No, R. Kelly, no. We'll talk about that another day. Just came to my head. But I'm going to make sure I get my mirror out because my viewfinder can be playing tricks on me. So now I'm going to take my foundation, my powder foundation brush, and blend my cheek and my contour in together so that they can be one. NYX setting spray, but it has been juiced up. Your girl has added a little bit of unfiltered water, filtered water, a drop or two of lavender so it can be calming. And lavender has a lot of properties, so just look it up. As well as just a little bit of glycerin just to keep it, to preserve itself. There was something else I added in here. If I remember, I'll let you know. But it's kind of been souped up a little bit, so we're going to get it. Keep that face still, resting Christian face. And that was just a joke, people, just a joke. So you're seeing almost the finished look. So now I'm going to go back into that contour palette And I'm going to double highlight myself because there are two separate ones that I want to wear today. And them together bring harmony. Going into that JaleaNicole Cosmetics palette. And I'm going to pick up this gold. Ooh. And because I'm still a little bit damp, adding it on the... Ooh, I may actually add nothing. Because do you see that blinding side? Now, this is your friend. When you go overboard, from the front, respect, disrespect, respect. Just, you know, you get it, you get it. And excuse all my sniffly. I am having a sinus issue that is out of this world. But let me conclude my thoughts and feelings about this move that God has thrusted us into. I completely enjoy Tennessee. Am I also confused? Yes. Do I worry? No, because God got us. He brought us here. He's gonna take us all the way through. So I will just wait for God to reveal those things that he feels the need to reveal. And those ladies in the Chattanooga, Tennessee, North Georgia area. North Georgia, I'm still your makeup artist. Tennessee, I shall be soon as my license transfers over. So prom season is here. And you know what that means. Yes. Book now. Book now. I'm just going to make sure we hit all those corners there. And yes, get that lip. And you know what, guys? This look is beautiful to me. That completes face. I'm going to get underneath my eyes now. I just pray that whatever God is doing for us in this season, we're able to see it. We're able to love the process as much as we love the promise. And I think that's the thing. When God does big things like this, first of all, I'm not going in and add no more highlight because JaleaNicole, she did that. You might want to check that out. She did that. So let her know down below if you want to check it out as well. Okay? But I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to start with the Love Letter, and then I'm going to use that to blend it out. The Real Gar. But just be able to enjoy the hard part as well as enjoy the treat, you know. Hard work does pay off, and diligent faithfulness it's not always as easy done as it is said, you know. So some days just jump off the building, just walk across the water. Just give the message before you be in the fish. You know, like really, just do it. Why not? Because me and my husband were having a talk one day, and he was like, you know, the way you think about how God does things, it helps me because I do midday prayer with my ministry every day at noon. I'll leave that information in the description box. Every day at noon, me and other women of God, we get on and we do Bible study, we do prayer, we do whatever God leads us to do. Right now, we're studying Hebrews. Okay? So we get in there and we read and we dissect the word. And there's a part, and it was like, it just makes sense to have faith. It doesn't make sense to not have faith. I believe it's in Matthew where you build your foundation on the rock and you shall never fail. But if you build it on sand, it will. And the rock is Christ and the sand is the world. And everything that the world has to offer us that is trickery to us. And the success of the world is not always measured the same as the kingdom. And right now, where we at in our life, I'm trying to be where God is at. Because I already knew where my life was without him. And I don't want to go back there. Going into that orange. And getting all up under there. And it's making such a beautiful transition out. Hubby's calling. Hold on. Yes, sir.
Face is big.
Oh, well, thank you. What's going on? So of course y'all heard husband, he saw the look, he was like, okay. The only thing that I finished off, you guys saw I did that part. I just had to mute it because me and hubby were talking and I didn't want to waste the time, so I was still able to do that while on here. And I used my go-to Wet n Wild lip liner in Brandywine. I actually been using this for years. This has been #1. And on my lips I have Max Amplified Blankety nude, because in the picture she was pretty nude. But now on top of that I'm going to use Pure Color Envy Berry Provocative from Estee, just to give it shine, but also to tone down that nude lip there, but give me some gloss. So let me bring my hair down just a smidgen to give you guys the full. And no, I ain't taking off my headband. I did not glue down my hair today, so that's not even an option. And what I can do is lift this up just a little bit so it cannot be so in the way and cover my ears because I don't have earrings. So you guys, this is the final look. I hope that you guys liked it, but more than the makeup and the mask of it all, the fun mask, the beautiful, pretty, great thing, I hope you guys heard some of the words that I was saying, the truth that I was giving you from my life, from the journey that me and my husband are currently on with our children, and just how great God is. I hope you guys heard how great our God is, and I hope you guys heard encouragement for the things that he's been telling you to do that has been scaring you, to just go ahead and do it, to just jump, walk on that water, to give your child back to God, to, you know, like, to sacrifice yourself, be a living sacrifice. And you can't go wrong. There is no way you can give all of yourself to God and he returns to you nothing. That has never happened. His word does not come back void, and he is not a man that he shall lie. He will keep his promises to you guys, and those things that he's been telling you and showing you in your dreams and placing on your heart, and sometimes even telling you through your children. Do it. Do it. Accept it. It is his will. Do his will, and ask if those wills that you have are his. And I'll tell you what, he will let you know, because that is the biggest thing that I've learned, is that you'll know whether your will has been changed into God's will or if you're trying to do your own, because your will tends to not work out. And once you start to get on one accord with him, those things that start working out, you can tell that you are in alignment, if you get what I'm saying. So hopefully I wasn't too all over the place, and I'm so sorry that it's so lengthy. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. The next video that you'll see me when I'm looking like this will be my 2018 favorites. So I love you guys. Stay tuned. Hit the notification bell to join the family. I love you. Please share, please like, please subscribe. I would love to grow my channel to another level, because I'm back in that way. And I just hope that I can make an impact in your life and possibly your friends. So see you guys in the next video. Bye.